Welcome back, friends. A few weeks ago I did a video about shedding some weight out of my pack. I just finished a little weekend trip up to the Ouachita National Forest, and I'd taken this Gregory Z35 and just didn't perform the way I needed it to. It's not the pack's fault, it's my fault, because I was asking it to do things it's not capable of doing. I had not a whole lot of equipment, but it's just, this pack is just not made for that kind of stuff. So on the way home I said, well, obviously I need to lose some weight out of my kit, but you know what, I also need a new pack. It wasn't a case of the I wants, it was a case of the I needs. So I started prioritizing things, what my needs and wants were. Obviously, number one, I'm going to need a larger pack, so something in the 40 to 45 liter range was going to work for me. The second thing I needed were larger side pockets. As you can see, this side pocket here only holds one water bottle, and this is kind of a narrow pack anyway. It sits up a little higher, and unless you're a Cirque du Soleil performer, it might be a little hard to reach back there and get it, and so I'd have to drop my pack to get a drink of water, and that was kind of a hassle. So that was a second requirement I needed. The third requirement was I need a large mesh pocket out here. We got a little rain overnight up there and a little drizzle the next morning, so the only thing I could do was shake out my rain fly, and I had to stuff it back down in the pack wet. If I had a mesh pocket out there, then I could throw it in there and let it dry as we go. The next requirement I had out of the 4 non-negotiable flat-out requirements I needed was I wanted to lose some weight. And just knowing what I know about packs and looking at them over the last few years, I didn't think there was going to be a problem for me to lose a pound off of this pack here. Now, even though this is just a 35 liter pack, Gregory packs are known for their comfort and for their durability and the suspension system here. All that comes at a weight penalty. So this pack here is over 3 pounds, even though it's not very big. So I knew that I could find something in 2.2 pounds without any problem. So going forth with those requirements, I set out looking for a new pack. Also threw in a bonus item. I said, well, if I can't get it, fine, but if I can find it, that'd be great too. The hip belt pockets on here just aren't real big. Not a big deal, because this is a small pack, and as you get a larger pack, a larger waist belt, it's going to have bigger pockets anyway. And it seems like the industry's kind of going that way, because some people think they got to carry a small TV as their telephone now, and they're whining, oh, I can't get my giant ass phone in here. So pouches are getting bigger anyway, so I figured that wasn't a problem, but if I can get that, that'd be a bonus. So I set about on my journey and started researching packs, and I went looking at Z-Pack and Hyperlight, and that's super nice stuff. It fit every criteria that I wanted here, except they're really expensive, and I'd really like to have a seat at the cool kids table, but I'm just not willing to spend that kind of money right now, so forgot about those. I looked at a lot of other packs out there, ran down to REI there by my office and looked at everything, but it's really not anything that fit the bill, the packs that I like. Most of them didn't have that front mesh pocket. That is a deal breaker. I gotta have it. Those 4 things that I mentioned, I have to have those. So when it was all said and done, we ended up with the Gossamer Gear Gorilla 40 out of Austin, Texas, and the ULA OHM 2.0 out of Utah. And so got both packs here. I think we're going to run through them, and we're going to show you what we like about them, show you what we don't like about them, and then we'll make a decision on what's going to be the new pack. So stand by. Okay, we're going to look at the Gossamer Gear Gorilla 40 Ultralight first. This pack will run you $205 and $45 extra for the hip belt, so $250. Now, like I said, this isn't going to be an in-depth technical review of these 2 packs, but a basic overview of the features and how I arrived at my decision. So let's get started here. Now, the basic specs on this pack is it's a 40 liter, actually 40 plus capacity. You get about almost 29 liters in the main compartment. Now these guys you really have to kind of read the specs carefully on this stuff, because when they talk about capacities, they're adding every pocket, every hip belt pocket and everything like that. But I was mainly concerned about the main compartment. This is a top loader, and it has a drawstring closure, and it has a maximum recommended load range of 30 pounds. The material is a 30D Robic ripstop nylon in the upper compartment, and then here in the side pockets where most people carry water bottles, and down here at the bottom and down here, it's a 100D Robic ripstop nylon, and that's just for added durability. I think that's a great idea. They also put it here at the bottom of this mesh panel. It's water repellent, but it's not waterproof, and this thing weighs in at 2.1 pounds. It's light, it's very comfortable. Turn around at the back here, get a good look at these shoulder straps and the back pad. It's a pretty light back pad. This is a feature they put in here. It's kind of you can take this out and use it as a sit pad. This comes right out. If you don't like this particular material on your back, you know, cut up an old thermarest you got laying around, or an old piece of a, you know, closed cell sleeping mat that you haven't used in 20 years. If you really want to go minimalist, cut up a piece of old yoga mat that fits in here just right. Some people are actually folding up their thermarest sleep pad, making it fit in here. That way it's not taking any room in the main compartment. So that's kind of a nifty idea. I like that. And this particular material here gives you just a little bit of airflow through here. Now here's the shoulder straps. It only comes in one version. You can't move them. So this is what you see is what you get. They have this ventilated mesh material. They use this both on the hip belt and the shoulder straps. This pack is hydration bladder ready. It's got dual ports here at the top. You can run your hose down to either side. It has some places here where you can hook various accessories on. Sternum strap goes up and down on this particular strap here. Got a little built-in whistle as well. Let's look at the hip belt while we got it out here. Substantial hip belt with the same material that you're using on the shoulder strap. It fits very, very well. The pockets on here are plenty big, much bigger than I have on my little Gregory, and it's actually pretty comfortable. The only thing about this hip belt is you can see there's not a whole lot of room to move this up and down. You can see I've got this thing pushed up, but this is held on inside here with Velcro, so you can disconnect it and move it up and down, but you're only talking about that much. It's not a whole lot of up and down movement, so it's really important that you get your torso length correct on this pack in order the correct size, because you're not going to be able to move this hip belt a whole lot. You got a single strap, pull tension to the back type here on your belt for your adjustment. As I mentioned, it is hydration bladder ready. It has a sleeve inside here that is non-removable, and if you don't want to put a hydration bladder in there, you can use it to store other things as well. Go around to the front here. Here's my item that I really needed. I couldn't find on a lot of other packs, and this thing has a super large mesh pocket. I mean, it's huge. Tater can go for along for a ride in this if he needs to. And this is pretty substantial stuff here. As I mentioned earlier, it has the 100D nylon ripstop here at the bottom for added durability. You got a couple little tabs here to put your trekking poles in so they don't move around. Lash them here to the side, and then out of this material here you also have an ice axe holder, and those are pretty nice features. Now you'll notice with this pack, I've got two 1 liter bottles here in the side pockets. fit in there nice and snug. So I've got added capacity there that I was looking for. And you'll also notice on this pack, you don't see any shock cord or anything like that. They are big on lash straps and not so much the cordage. However, they do put loops all over the pack, all up and down here in the top, and so you can add cordage if you want later on. It has a, like I said, this is a top loader. Now they have a removable top lid, brain, whatever you want to call it. Buckles in the front, buckles in the back, and then you have a drawstring closure at the top. This particular design of top lid here is new for 2017, and it does have a zipper pouch in there so you can carry a map or kind of whatever you want. So that's a scoop on the Gossamer Gear Gorilla 40 Ultralight. So let's go over and take a look at the ULA. Here we have the ULA OHM 2.0 from Ultralight Adventure Equipment in Idaho. This pack here is $205, but me being the big spender that I am, I spent the extra $15 and got the optional roll top closure. So this pack here is $225, just the way you see it. The basic specs are capacity, main compartment's about 34 liters, and you can really extend out these extension collars on both of these packs, and if you want to stand them up way tall, you can get a whole lot in there. But you can see that, put them side by side, they're basically about the same size as far as the main compartment's concerned. Now this thing has some monstrous side pockets. The mesh pocket is not as big as the other one, but if you count up all the pockets, and you're going to come up with about 59 liters, which is a whole lot. But let me tell you, this stuff here is a lot of it. It is a top loading drawstring closure is the standard. I opted for the roll top. That's what you're looking at here. It also is a 30-pound maximum recommended load for this pack. It's made out of ULA Robic 210 material all throughout the pack. It is also water repellent, but not waterproof. Weight on this pack is 2 pounds, 1.5 ounces. So the weight on these is almost identical. Your hip pockets are pretty darn big, and as I mentioned before, it has massive side pockets. I have a 48-ounce Nalgene and a 32-ounce wide mouth clean canteen in here, and there's still more room, so you don't have to worry about capacity. Some people like to carry a cook kit over here, so they want these huge pockets. Now if they're a little too big for you, if I put 2 smart water bottles in here, you're just gonna have to cinch this up a little bit and make the pocket tighter to fit your particular need. This is a very simple, clean design type of pack. It's got really nice lines. It's the exact opposite of the Gossamer in the area of you don't see a whole lot of lash straps on this, whereas you did on the Gossamer. What you see here is a lot of cordage. This is 1 or 1.5 millimeter, just regular cordage, not even shot cordage. And then you have some tensioners up here. So you can add shot cord if you want, but there's not a whole lot of straps on this. So it's exactly the opposite as far as design thought, this pack versus the Gorilla 40. It is also hydration bladder ready. You have dual ports up here, and you can run your hose down either shoulder strap, not a problem. The difference on this is your hydration bladder sleeve is removable. So if you don't want it, you just take it out, save a little weight, or you can leave it in there to store some different things you might want. In addition to that removable hydration bladder, it has a small zipper bag for things like you know, your credit card, keys, ID, stuff like that. It is also removable, but it's good to have a little zipper pocket in there just for stuff you don't want floating around in your pack that may get lost, that are really important. Now these shoulder straps are thinner, both in width and thickness of pad. They are using a ventilated mesh material, and from what I've worn on this, I'm kind of jazzed about it. I'm kind of digging the smaller, thinner shoulder straps, but they're very nice. One thing this pack has that you're not going to see on the Gorilla are load lifters. Now on a 40-liter pack, if you're not really using that extension collar way up here and you're getting a big load, you know, up behind your head, load lifters might not be an important thing to you, but to other people that might be something that they really need. Now since we're here looking at the shoulder straps, I want to mention one other thing. These are what they call the J straps. This is kind of standard, but for no charge you can use you can have them install what's called S straps. Now that's really popular with some really big guys. Say you're I don't know, Tuba Solo the hiker out there on the left coast, likes to hike out in California. He is a big manly man, and he might prefer the S straps. So if that's your deal, you just tell him, I want the S straps, and it's no charge at all. Okay? The load lifters are also standard. You don't have to get those either. Now there's one other thing they put on here. These are kind of optional. I'm just calling them hand straps. So say you're a guy that doesn't like hiking poles. You don't use trekking poles. So you're walking along, no place for your arms. Well, you can just kind of hang them on your shoulders and walk along. Don't know anybody that uses them, but they give them to you. But you can take them off, you know, and chunk them, no problem. Save you a little weight there too. This pack has a thin backing that is inside. It's not removable like the one on the Gorilla 40, but it is very comfortable. So far so good. Now down here, your hip belt, it is a once again has this ventilated mesh material. It doesn't seem to be quite as heavy as the Gorilla, but the one good thing I like about it is you can see here you have quite a bit of up and down movement, so you can really dislodge this hip belt with Velcro in there. You can slide it up and just tune this thing in to fit you just perfectly. Checking out the hip belt pockets, pretty darn big. I know it's kind of hard to see black on black here, but they are pretty big and well positioned. This hip belt adjuster is different in that it has two straps here, and so you can really kind of pull this baby in and get it adjusted just the way you want it for that nice custom feel. So there you are. That is the OHM 2.0. Oh, one other thing I want to show you is this optional top loading roll top. Really kind of digging it. And there it is. Okay. $15 extra charge on that, and in my opinion, I think it's well worth it. So what didn't I like about these two packs? Well, let's start with the GOSSAMER Gorilla 40 real quick. The thing that I really didn't like about this pack was this top lid, brain, whatever you want to call it. It just doesn't fit over the pack. It doesn't fit across the back. So this just opens up this whole area here to debris, moisture, or whatever. And so I couldn't figure it out. I just didn't understand it, why they did it. It's detachable. Why? Have no idea. Can't really use it as a day pack. It's not flat. Looks kind of like an old aviator's helmet. Sure, you can take it off and you can just do a little roll top action like this, and you can take this strap and extend it, go across this way, and you can go across this way. But to tell you the truth, I just think that's a band-aid for a less than desirable design. Okay? The other thing I didn't like was the minimal amount of adjustment I can get up and down on the hip belt. It's only about maybe a 1/2 inch, maybe 3/4, but not much. It has rearward pulling hip belt adjusters, pulls back towards you. I'm used to going forward, but that's not a big deal. I can fix that for $2.50. I can just take off this buckle, install a slider, and I can convert this to front pull. That's not a big deal. That's just personal preference. This pack does not have load lifters. Some people, that's super important. Me, bigger pack maybe. Not so sure about this smaller one, but if I have them, okay, great. So that's the deal on the problems that I didn't like with the Gorilla 40. Now let's take a look at the OHM 2.0. The list is kind of small on this one about the things I didn't like. It has a lower capacity mesh pocket, but you can still carry a lot of stuff. You know, I've got, I don't know, a pair of water shoes, got my Dutchware ass pad. You know, you can carry quite a bit of stuff in there. Does not have any lashing points on the bottom, any little loops where I could maybe put some shock cord to carry something lightweight like a closed cell sleeping pad or something like that. But I think I can hack that. I don't think it's a big problem. But that's the only thing I didn't like about this pack. Other than that, pretty happy. So, what's my decision? Let's see. It's gonna be the ULA OHM 2.0. This is kind of like dating two girls, and they're both pretty hot. But you like one just a little bit more, you know. Maybe one's dad is rich or something, you know. He might fall into something down the road, I don't know. But you know, either one's gonna be great for you. But when you start putting them side by side and you have to make a decision, because inside the house there, she who must be obeyed is only gonna let me have one girlfriend. So I gotta choose. So I went with the OHM. Why is that? Main reason, I could not get my little pea brain past this top lid on the Gorilla. I figured out a couple ways to hack it. I was just gonna sew this to the back of the pack. Had to keep dirt and debris from getting in there and all that kind of stuff. But still, it just doesn't go over the pack well unless you have a whole bunch of stuff piled on top. It just kind of sits up there. It looks goofy, doesn't work. If you detach it, then you're stuck with this kind of thing, and I'm just not excited about it. Now, if they would have given me the top lid off of their Mariposa or their Kumo, I'm a happy camper. I think they got a better pack when they do that. And as a matter of fact, I even talked to them about it. It bothered me so much. And they got back to me and they said, hey, the guy that responded, he says, hey, this is not my preferred method. But we had some customers that requested a detachable top lid, so that's what we put on the 2017 model. Will it be back next year? I don't know, but that's what they said, and those guys have forgotten more than I'll ever know about backpacking. So that's why I asked them, and that was their answer. The other thing was the minimal amount of up and down adjustment on the hip belt. That wasn't a plus either. But if you get your torso length correct, you know, I think you'll be just fine. Other than those couple things, you know, this thing is an awesome pack. Nemor on Nemor's World, he's had a Kumo, which is a smaller pack than this, and he's got over 3,000 miles on it and it's still going. So that just lets you know that the Gossamer Gear stuff, the guys down in Austin, Texas, they definitely build some high quality stuff. So let's talk to my new best girlfriend. Let me tell you what I really liked about her. For one thing, this thing is all sewn in Utah. Now, why is that important? Before you start hating now, just walk into your favorite outfitter, REI or whoever, and you know that Big Agnes tent over there that says Steamboat Springs, Colorado? Probably ain't made there. Those Keen shoes you're walking around in you're fond of? No, not made there either. Patagonia shirt, you know, your cool shorts, no. Chances are, not made here. But when you're talking about a backpack, if it's sewn here, that makes some things real easy. For instance, this company here offers this pack in 5 colors and camo. The 5 colors, I picked orange, obviously, are at no charge, 0 charge. The camo is a little different material, a little heavier, and it does cost a little more. So that's pretty nice. I could get the color I wanted. Also, I was able to get the optional roll top feature, which I like that. Shoulder straps. You have 2 different designs of shoulder straps to choose from. Once again, no charge whatsoever. Plus, if it's sewn, you know, here on this side of the pond, you can probably, you know, call those guys up on the phone and say, you know what, would it be possible for you to sew a 1-inch strap here with a female buckle on it for me? You know, I have a need for that. And they'd say, yeah, yep, $10, we can do that for you. So that was pretty cool. Just to give you an idea here, I ordered this on a Thursday at 1 o'clock. That would be 2 o'clock Utah time. I ordered it in orange, optional roll top, these shoulder straps. By 4:30 I had an email that says, hey, your stuff, it's out of here. We already shipped it. I couldn't believe it. So it wasn't just laying on the shelf, you know, they had to put this top on it and things like that. So also, if they sew it right here, it's easy to get stuff repaired, say you rip it or something like that. And I thought that was great. I really love the color options too. Other thing that sold me on this pack is the more up and down adjustment of the hip belt. You can really dial it in, and these are forward pulling hip belt adjusters, which I really like. The hydration sleeve, like I mentioned earlier, is removable, or you can use it, you know, for extra storage, and that small little zipper pouch in there is also pretty nice. Load lifters, I think that's a nice plus. So, also, hey, this is the pack that Shug uses, although I've got the latest version, the 2.0. He's still carrying his beat up old, plain old OHM, so they need to hook him up with a new one. There's some other guys carrying it out too, carrying this pack too. If you follow Eric the Black, his lightweight blog, he's been carrying one of these for a long time. So this is my new girlfriend. Hope you like her, because I really do. I can't wait to get her out and take her for a spin, so to speak. So let me know what you think. If you're trying to make the same decision, or if you have either one of these backpacks and you got something to add, just leave me a comment below. More than likely, I'll get back to you, because I really like hearing from you, and I learn a whole lot from all the comments that people give me. So until next time, you guys be safe. I hope to see you out on the trail with my new girlfriend. Adios.